Dude, I will say, as somebody who's managed long-term and midterm rentals, I'm convinced midterm is so much easier. Dude, you don't have to show apartments. People book it without ever seeing it. Amazing. Evictions, not a thing. Like, payments, already guaranteed through the platform. Tenant quality, you are literally renting to people where it is their job to take care of things and people. Amazing. I love every part of it.
Sold.
Yeah, like I'm a huge midterm rental guy.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest is based in beautiful Spokane, Washington. He owns a software company called Tandem that blends rev share real estate coaching with lead generation tools, runs a hard money lending business for fix and flips and new construction, and is actively investing in single family homes, in midterm housing potentially, right, in Tampa, Florida. Please welcome Jared Prevost. Jared, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure, my man.
I always like to start off at the top of the show by asking folks how they got into the real estate space.
Yeah, I had a very distinct moment. I don't have any entrepreneurs in my family, really. Like, I have a cousin who runs a floral business. Outside of that, I didn't even know that really existed. And so I remember very specifically, I lived in a duplex in college, and one night I just couldn't sleep. And I remember being on my bed and like just watching random YouTube videos trying to make myself bored enough to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I saw a Brandon Turner video on the 4 wealth generators of real estate. And I always thought to myself, like, why would anybody ever own this house? I went to school in this tiny, dinky town called Big Rapids, Michigan. Why would anybody ever own this? And I just remember listening to that and like looking around, and I was like, he basically owns this house for free, and then doesn't have to pay taxes. And I was like, well, and I graduated in 2021. So like I was in college hearing about how people were making crazy amounts of money in appreciation and stuff. And so that was what I caught the bug on. Then I literally listened to like 100 episodes of the Bigger Pockets podcast over the course of a few months. From there, went and interned for a boutique developer building financial models. And yeah, I mean, I can continue on with my journey, but that's really how I got started.
So it sounds like you knew actually pretty early on. I mean, you mentioned Bigger Pockets, but also you mentioned starting out kind of saying like, who would want to own this? You know, what's the reason for this? And did I hear you right? You were in Michigan initially, born and raised?
Born in Cody, Wyoming, but raised in a very rural part of Michigan on Lake Superior.
Okay.
So,
you've traveled.
Yeah, I've done a lot of traveling. I've lived in a lot of weird places.
So talk to me through getting down, because you were in the greater Tampa, right? Were you in St. Petersburg or Tampa? Which one were you in?
I was right in Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about moving out there. I really am. I've had some guests on this show. Which is just funny because you went from...
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Tampa to Spokane, and I'm in Dallas, Texas right now, and I'm looking, and I had a couple realtors on the show who are from the West Coast. I had no idea that, I mean, maybe there's some people who might disagree, but there's like a friendly competition between the parts of Florida. You've got like the West Coast, you've got, Southern Florida, Miami area, and then you've got other parts. I had no idea that there were so many Floridas.
Here's the thing, I'll give you two perspectives on it. Everybody knows Miami's number one in Florida. It's going to be the most globally recognized. It is quite literally considered the capital of the Latin American world. We get it. It's Miami. Well, you want to talk about number two spot between Tampa and Orlando? There's some beef, dude. If you're from Tampa, you would never want to live in Orlando, ever. And if you're from Orlando, they're you guys, whatever, we have the Space Coast nearby, we have Disney, and, it's honestly, it's kind of a big beef. But then, generally speaking in Florida, West Coast, people from the Midwest go to the West Coast. People from the East Coast go to the East Coast. So, it's an overgeneralization, but if you go to the east side of Florida, it feels a lot more like New Jersey.
Yeah.
If you go to the west side, it feels a lot more like Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan.
That is funny.
Culturally a little bit split.
That is funny. I'm in Dallas, right? If you've been over here, we've got DFW Metro, which is Dallas and Fort Worth Metroplex. Literally neighboring cities. They basically touch each other. And if you tell someone from Fort Worth that they're from Dallas, that's like fighting. They'll correct you on the spot. They'll be like, yeah, it's so great to be in Dallas. They'll be like, no, we're in Fort Worth. And they'll be like, yeah, but I mean, we're so close, it's, literally right over there, it's called no, different thing. And I'm like, man, this is some serious thing. I've seen maybe a little bit of that with some areas in Florida, which you pointed out. But I want to pivot a bit here, Jared. You're in a number of verticals, which I have some experience with, less in others. You're very active in the lending space, but you also got started initially, if I'm understanding the journey correctly, involved with a couple wholesale deals, right? Or maybe more than a couple. And I've seen this progression from kind of wholesale to then working your way up, maybe getting a few flips, to then people going into the lending space. I'm curious what you make of that, and if you think that's kind of a natural progression for a lot of folks as well.
Yeah, I will say that I think a lot of people in their mind, they think of real estate in the single family space as levels, and it's wholesaler, agent, flipper, developer, lender, or something like that. I don't think that's true. I don't think there's anything special about being a lender versus a wholesaler versus a developer. I will say I'm pretty big on thinking about how business models work, etc. I want to be in a business that I can develop a moat and I can develop recurring business. Wholesaling, it's extremely difficult to build a moat through brand recognition, etc. It's very difficult. Anyone can call the same clients. In the eyes of a seller, usually it's a little bit of how much should I buy with you, but everyone's so good at sales that everyone is best friends with the seller. It really comes down to the offer price a lot. Reputation is not that important when you're direct to seller. Your reputation for buyers is super important, but I mean, I see shady people all the time, just scumbags locking up sellers, because it's kind of hard to tell. They only
you don't know this
one
person,
time.
right? You're only in this situation once. Who are you? You know what I mean?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Exactly. In wholesaling, on the dispo side, you can build up some recurring revenue, right? But generally speaking, it's a really tough business to do that. Fix and flip, it's kind of similar. It's hard to develop recurring business that you're not working really hard at. It's hard to build a moat. One thing I really like about lending, like, yeah, I'm always going to compete with other people on pricing. Like, don't get me wrong. But my ability to build a brand, which is one of the strongest ways to build a moat in your business, protect your profit, is really strong. And my ability to create recurring business is also very strong. Because once I have docs from somebody and have them approved, it's like a pretty big hassle to go somewhere else, even for hard money. And my good clients will buy a deal every 1 to 2 months. So for that reason, like, that's part of the reason I progressed into it. But a lot of it was pain. I struggled in wholesaling for a year and a half. I was quite good at sales, but I didn't enjoy it at all. I didn't really feel all the time like I was helping the sellers as much as I could be. Like you just don't really have fully aligned incentives.
Right.
I win when somebody else loses to some degree. Like, you need the transaction to close, but the more I can make and the less you make is a win for me, which I just struggled with that a lot. In fix and flip, I lost 20 grand on my first flip, but that's I got introduced to the world of part money. Yeah, dude, I was so frustrated with wholesaling. I was like, I'm just going to buy a flip. And I didn't even ask any.
Yeah.
Like, one of my really good friends that I was working for, I didn't even run the deal by him. I was like, whatever, dude, I'm just going to buy this flip. I'll make like 20 grand for my own wholesaling business in Spokane from Florida. Didn't go well at all. But that like led me into lending, which was a much better fit for me. My skill sets, like, I'm a very good marketer, and I particularly I really like social media. So that's been really good for me. And I also really like I only win if my borrowers win. Any other way I lose. So for me, that's
it's a great way to have that kind of synergy and that unified front. Everybody wins, right? Everyone's happy. I want to ask you about, having multiple businesses, because you're really involved in a couple different spaces, right? You mentioned before hopping on here, you've got the platform. Is it Tandem that does the rev share, or is that the lending?
Yeah, it's Tandem. So it's completely different. And it's actually a really good question, because I struggled with shiny object syndrome for a long time. And initially, origin story on Tandem, the first business I ever got into in college was financial coaching. And so we built our own online site, because it was really difficult to give advice when you couldn't give feedback on somebody's financials, and doing that over Excel just did not work. Yeah. And then from there, I just I got more into real estate, and I'm like, dude, I want to do financial coaching, but we already built this whole site. This would be sweet to sell this to money coaches. Imagine you could just get your whole own budgeting platform, lead management, lead magnets, all this stuff for free. And you could get it set up overnight. I was like, this is such an easy sale, dude. I don't know who wouldn't sign up for this. Turns out nobody signed up for it. But the problem wasn't the actual business. That had nothing to do with it. The problem was that 90% of my time and focus and contacts were in real estate, and 10% were in this other world. So it's dude, when I got extra time, I try to build the relationships, etc. And so what I found and kind of learned through, we've been working on this business for 5 years, is that your businesses need to fall into the same vertical. And that's why we took this software and we were like, hey, actually, I kind of made it for myself. And I'm an entrepreneur who has multiple different business income sources and expenses. I was like, this would be sweet if I'm just going to use this for my real estate stuff. And then I'm already in the same space and know about a bunch of people running these groups. This is extremely valuable for entrepreneurs. So we just shifted it, and we're like, this is for real estate coaches now. It still works the same if money coach wanted to use it, but I would just say no.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
There's a lot of real estate coaches, right? And a lot of people who want that type of coaching. It's going to be even getting bigger now that more people, I think, have. And I'm a fan, by the way. I'm a real estate agent. So sometimes people might think, well, what's your take on it? I'm a big fan of real estate coaching and platforms like yours that facilitate that, because there's so many people, especially younger people, who are looking at the price of homes thinking, how am I going to do that? Where I'm from in northern New Jersey, it's like $220,000 to qualify for, a very middle class home. Right. And so it's like, if you're a college graduate and you're looking at, what your outlooks are, how are you going to get involved? I think it's almost like if you're not a real estate investor, you're now losing access to a lot of the things that you might potentially have access to. So I want as many people to be involved as possible, which brings me to the verticals that we haven't talked about, which is you're looking at potentially properties in Spokane, but also maybe midterm housing in the Tampa area. So you've kind of got an eye on both coasts, right?
Well, so kind of for Tampa, I am not a big buy and hold Florida person. The people that I've seen that bought rentals a few years ago, they don't cash flow anymore. They were literally making $300 to $400 a month long-term rents, on a solid deal, even without rates changing. They don't cash flow. Rents have gone down $100 to $200 a month. Property taxes have gone up that much, and then insurance has gone up at least $100 a month, if not $200. They're not stopping. So everything is kind of trending in the wrong direction. So for me right now, in Florida, because I have so many project management connections, so many clients that I can partner on deals with. My last flip, I didn't ever go into it. I didn't look at it. I used an inspection company I trusted. I had one of my repeat clients go and he's handling everything. I will never see the house. And I love it that way. It's just the math. I'm a math guy. I just want the math.
I trust the math, right?
Yeah, I'm not stepping into a flip. Ain't no way. And I want light cosmetic jobs. I'm not doing this for vanity. I just like the business. So for Steph in Tampa, I see literally 100 plus deals a month by the nature of my business. And I get first eyes on a lot of it. And I have kind of VIP status with a lot of agents or wholesalers where I could get into something early on. So I really like that. I can plug and play into a fix and flip and spend hardly any time on it and know that it's going to get done right. In Spokane, I don't have that. I just moved here. But I'll tell you what, I don't want to keep renting a place here.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot, long term, I feel a lot more bullish on property taxes staying lower, insurance staying lower, and consistent rent growth here. And this is a fairly affordable market. Median home price is actually similar to Tampa, but it's cheaper to actually own because lower property taxes and insurance. So here, I used to do manage some midterm rentals. And so this city is getting a lot more friendly on ADUs. So I think what I want to find is a beat up single family with a basement, turn that into 2 units with an ADU close to the hospital, which is the best area of town in this in Spokane proper, and turn that into a midterm rental, both units. And then I'm kind of just a guest until
sign me up. That sounds like a great strategy right there. Especially if it's near the hospital. You get some midterm, right? Some medical staff. That sounds like a great thing. And then when they move on or whatever the situation, there's another one right behind them.
Dude, I will say, as somebody who's managed long-term and midterm rentals, I'm convinced midterm is so much easier. Dude, you don't have to show apartments. People book it without ever seeing it. Amazing. Evictions, not a thing. Payments already guaranteed through the platform. Tenant quality, you are literally renting to people where it is their job to take care of things and people. Amazing. I love every part of it.
Sold.
Yeah, I'm a huge midterm rental guy. Obviously, nobody else invests in it except for me. We don't need more of them. But I really like the strategy. Or a really cool one too is doing insurance rentals. We messed around with that a little bit. That is a sweet business if you can get into it. Displaced homeowners.
Big deal.
Amazing.
I've spoken with someone in Hawaii who actually did that, and they lived it was so tremendous. They got, I guess, it was from FEMA or some organization that ended up doing the displaced, because what you're talking about during the I guess there was fires, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably butchering the story, but they ended up living abroad. They went to a completely other country, and I said, wow, that's something more people got to look into. But Jared, we are coming up on time here. Where can folks go if maybe they'd like to learn a little bit more about Tandem or the lending business, or reach out to you maybe if they're in the Spokane area or have a deal maybe in the Tampa area?
Yeah, the best place to reach me is on Instagram. It's Jared Does Hard Money. I have a hard time forgetting what I do, but I'm posting content literally every day. I'm on there all the time. I've got my own podcast, Lever Up Your Life. So that's where I hang out the most if you wanted to get a hold of me.
Jared, thank you so much for coming on the show here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dylan. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.